So the judiciary is a branch of the government that interprets the law, settles disputes, and administers justice to all citizens. Right? So, as you know, there are three Indian administration pillars. These are, we have already discussed our legislatives, executives also. So, the president is the chief of the executive, legislature, of Indian government can interfere. So, they cannot interfere with and that's why it is considered as the watchdog of democracy and also the guardian of the constitution. Just for democracy to function effectively, it is imperative to have an impartial and independent judiciary. So, independent judiciary, what does it mean? It means that the other branches of the government, namely the executive and legislature, as I told, there are three pillars: legislature, executive, and judiciary. So here, no other branch, means the executive and legislature, cannot interfere with the judiciary's functioning, right? And the judiciary's decision is respected and not interfered with or by the other organs. And then its independence means that the judges can perform their duties without fear or favor. So the independence of the judiciary does not mean that the judiciary functions are arbitrary functions and without any accountability. No, it's not arbitrary. And they are accountable. It is accountable to the constitution of the country. So the constitution provides for a number of provisions that ensures that the independence of the judiciary is maintained and protected. Okay. So let us see the Indian judicial system's structure. So here India has a single integrated judicial system. And the judiciary in India has a pyramidal structure. It looks like a pyramid with the Supreme Court is at the top level, and then there are different high courts under the Supreme Court in the different states. So there is only one Supreme Court in the union level at the top, and then there are different high courts in the different states, and below them there are the district and subordinate courts. And these lower courts function under the direct superintendence of the High Court. So they are not independent. So this is a single integrated judicial system. At the top level, there is Supreme Court, state levels, high courts, and in each and every state, there are lower courts. These are known as also district or the subordinate courts. Right? When we talk about the role of the different courts, like when we talk about Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court decisions are binding on all the courts, all around the country. So the decisions taken by the Supreme Courts are binding to all the courts and all the citizens of India. And the Supreme Court has a discretionary power that it can transfer judges of the High Court. So the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice of India can transfer one judge from one state, suppose Bihar or Jharkhand, to any of the other state, Tamil Nadu or Maharashtra. So Supreme Court can transfer judges from the High Courts. Then one more discussion is there that the Supreme Court can move the cases from any court to itself because it is a higher level. So it has the right, it has the power, discretionary power to transfer any case pending in any of the High Court to the Supreme Court. And then in some cases, the Supreme Court can transfer cases from one High Court to another. So many times, on the demand of the state or on the demand of the parties, it can transfer. Suppose any case is pending in Bihar and it is getting delayed. So if anybody approaches the Supreme Court, then the Supreme Court can transfer the case from Bihar to suppose Allahabad High Court, Kolkata High Court, like that. Then when we talk about the High Courts, so the role of High Court is to hear the appeals from the lower court. So suppose any case, any decision has been taken by the lower court, then the aggrieved party, and if feels that the decision of the lower court is against the law, then they can appeal to the High Court. And then it is High Court who can appeal from the lower courts. Okay. Then a High Court can issue writs for restoring fundamental rights. If any person is being deprived of the fundamental right stated in the Constitution, then High Court can issue writs for restoring the fundamental rights of the Indian citizen. Third, High Court deals with the cases within the jurisdiction of the state only. So it cannot interfere in the area of others, other high courts in the different states. So it can deal only those cases which come from within the jurisdiction of the state only. And the fourth is the High Court exercises superintendence and control over the courts below it, means the district courts or the other lower courts or the subordinate courts. Let us see now the third level, the district courts. So the role of the district courts is to deal with the cases arising in the particular district. Any case arises in the Ranchi district, then it can be heard or dealt by the Ranchi lower court, Ranchi district court. And the second is the district court considers appeal on decisions given by the lower court. Right? It can listen to the appeals on decisions given by the lower courts. Then the fourth one is the lower court decides cases involving serious criminal offences. So these are the roles of the district court. Now just come to the fourth level. Fourth level is the subordinate courts. Okay. Fourth level is the subordinate courts. So the subordinate courts role is to consider the cases of civil and criminal nature. Civil and criminal nature. So here, apart from this fourth level structure, there are also two branches of legal systems. These are criminal law and civil law. So the criminal law deals with the committing of a crime by any citizen or any entity. A criminal case starts when the local police file a crime report. And here the court finally decides on the matter. So this is about the criminal. Then the civil law. So the civil law deals with disputes over violation of fundamental rights of a citizen. So this is the structure of the Indian judicial system, where there are four levels: Supreme Court, High Court, District Court, and the subordinate courts. Now we'll see one by one. Let us see the functions of the Indian judicial system. So the Indian judiciary plays varieties of roles. These are: number one, administration of justice, creation of just case law, guardian of the constitution, protector of the fundamental rights, supervisory functions, advisory functions, administrative functions, special role in a freedom and conducting judicial inquiries. So, okay, let us see one by one. The first function is the administration of justice. So, the chief function of the judiciary is to apply the law of specific cases or in settling disputes. So, when a dispute is brought before the court, it determines the facts involved through evidence presented by the contestants. So the law then proceeds to decide that what law is applicable to the case and applies it. If someone found guilty of violating the law in the course of trial, the court will impose a penalty on the guilty person. So this is the first function of the judiciary: administration of justice. So as I discussed, when a dispute is brought before the court, it determines the facts. So you might have heard several times in the Indian movies, आपने फिल्मों में देखा होगा तमाम सबूतों और गवाहों के बयानात, है ना? So determines the fact. The fact means the sabut. So all the times when the judge passes the order, he passes in such a way that तमाम सबूतों और गवाहों के बयानात, है ना? आपने ये काम किया है जो इस दोष के अंडर सेक्शन दिस एंड दिस एंड दिस, है ना? So it decides, to decide the law, है ना? If आपने किसी को ठगा है, मीन्स इट इज 420. आपने किसी का मर्डर किया है, दिस कम्स अंडर 302, है ना? So for different types of cases, there are different kind of law, different kinds of acts. So under the Indian Penal Code, so and so you have been found guilty. So this kind of penalty is being imposed upon you, upon the person who is guilty. And so this is the administration of justice. The second, creation of just case law. So in many cases, the judges are not able to or to find it difficult to select the appropriate law of applicable, law for application. So in such case, the judges decides what the appropriate law is, and on the basis of their wisdom and common sense in doing so, judges have built up a great body of judge-made law or case law, or as per the doctrine of state decisions, the provisions, the previous decisions of the judges are generally regarded as binding on later judges in a similar cases. And so creation of judge case law. Now the third, guardian of constitution. So as you know, the highest court in India, the Supreme Court, acts as the guardian of the constitution. The Supreme Court of India acts as the guardian of the constitution. The conflicts of jurisdiction between the central government and the state government, or between the legislature and the executive, these all are decided by the court. Any law or executive order which violates any provision of the constitution, it is declared unconstitutional or null and void by the judiciary. So judiciary has the power to declare any of the act which is in violation of the provisions of the constitution, it can declare null and void. So this is called judicial review. So the judicial review has a merit of guaranteeing the fundamental right of the individuals and ensuring a balance between the union and the units of the federal states. Now, the fourth is the protector of the fundamental rights. So the judiciary ensures that the people's rights are not trampled upon by the state or any other agency. So the superior court enforces fundamental rights by issuing writs against them. Fifth function is supervisory functions. So the higher courts also perform the function of the supervising the subordinate courts in India. So the district court becomes the supervisor for the subordinate, and the high court supervises the district courts, and the high courts are under the supervision of the Supreme Court. So these are the supervisory functions in the structure. Advisory functions. Sixth is advisory functions. The Supreme Court in India performs an advisory function as well. It can give its advisory opinion on constitutional questions. So this is done in the absence of the disputes and when the executives so desire. Now, the administrative functions. Some functions of the courts are non-judicial or administrative in nature. The court may grant certain licenses, administer states, property of deceased person, and appoint receivers. They register marriages, appoint guardians of minor children, and lunatics. So this is the administrative function. Then two more functions are a special role in federation. So in the federation system like India, the judiciary also performs the important task of setting disputes between the center and the states. It also acts as an arbitrator of disputes between the states. And the last and final function, is conducting judicial inquiries. So judges normally are called to head commissions that inquire into the cases of errors or omissions on the part of the public servants. है ना? So आपने सुना होगा कई बार different kind of commissions are created, headed by any of the judge from the Supreme Court or the High Court, and they lead the commission to investigate the errors and omissions on the part of the public servants. So these are the different functions of the Indian judicial system. Time is getting over, and then I'm not in the list, attendance list. Only 26 persons are available now. Okay. Nischay. Hello. Nischay, Roshan.
Yes, sir.
देखो कितने लोग आए? Only 26. कहाँ रह जाते हैं लोग? जैसे जैसे समय करीब आ रहा है, लोगों की संख्या धीरे धीरे कम हो रही है. 100% अटेंडेंस तो कभी नहीं रहा. मेरे ख्याल से 80% ज्यादा कभी नहीं गया. अब जो है 80% से घट करके 20% की ओर चला आ रहा है. चलो जल्दी जल्दी खत्म करें हम लोग जो भी बातें हैं, है ना?
Yes, sir.
अगला एक दो डिस्कशन करेंगे, उसके बाद फिर हम लोग फिर से क्विज लेंगे. तैयार हो जाए आप, वही आपकी असली तैयारी होगी, ताकि आप एनसेम में, आप लोगों को पता है ना कि एनसेम इस बार कैसे होने जा रहा है, ऑफलाइन होगा. तो आप लोगों को मैंने देखा तो नहीं, लेकिन चलो शायद उसी टाइम देखने का मौका लगेगा. 10:50 हो चुके हैं, तो हम लोग खत्म करें मीटिंग क्या?
Yes, sir.
आप इसकी रेस्पॉन्ड करें. रोशन, रोहन, विशाल, शाश्वत, अरे कोई मत बोलो भाई.
Yes, sir.
बंद करें ना. चलो मीटिंग.
Yes.
हाँ, 1 मिनट ज्यादा हो गया, बंद करते हैं.